Hi everyone, it's Samara and I'm back with another video tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how I paint one of my faces. So then I drew my face in pencil and then I covered it with a very light wash of gesso, so just some watered down gesso. And so I've got a pretty white surface to work on here. So what I've done is I've selected some Neocolor IIs, and I usually will order them from light to darkest. And so I'm going to be using Flesh, Salmon, Salmon Pink, Rose, and Cinnamon. I'll be using those to shade the face. And so let's go ahead and get started there. So I do like to start off with the flesh tone, and so what I'll do is go ahead and, and then real quick, sorry, I'm trying something new that I haven't done before, and I sketched the face using a Derwent sketching pencil, and this is actually a watercolor pencil, so it will, I guess it will be water soluble. So as soon as I touch this with water, those lines should blend. So I just very lightly cover the entire area, and I didn't draw in any hair. I'm really not sure how I want to do the hair, so I was thinking I'll just leave the top portion flesh tone and then decide on hair later. But if I was going to do hair, I would just simply go ahead and draw it in and then gesso that surface as well. I keep moving it up thinking that you guys will be able to see better, but it's actually down that I need to go. And one of the tricks, I absolutely love to use regular Crayola crayons, and so if you keep rotating your crayon, you'll maintain a nice pointy tip. So, and the same is true with the Neocolors. And I usually don't go over the lips in this stage because the lips are usually just a little bit darker. Okay, so that was with the flesh tone. Now I'm going to go in with my, what color is this? Salmon. One of the things that really irritates me about the Neocolors, the names are in different parts of the crayon depending on whether it's an older color or a new color. So for example, the name on this one, the flesh tone, is over here. And then the name on the salmon, the name is over here. So it's really frustrating because they move. So in any case, I'm going to move to this color, the salmon. And when you think about a face, it's going to be darker around the edges. It's also going to be darker where the eyes are. The eyes approach the eye socket, so this section in here. And then it will be darker where the nose recedes back into the face, and then we're also going to have some darkness down in here where the lips are kind of come into the chin area. One of the things that I tell my students, my actual 6th grade students, when we're drawing, is to look at their own faces and to use their hands to feel the contours of their face, and then they're able to feel where those darker areas will be. So, where they'll be. I'm sorry, it's kind of quiet here, it's kind of late, and I don't know why I'm whispering because nobody can hear me. It's just funny. Okay, so it's going to be darker in there, the eyes. It's going to be darker over here under the nose, darker in here, and then down here at the chin, it kind of makes like a rounded little bump. So you can go ahead and add that. So I'm not pressing really hard, I'm pretty light here. And then your eyebrows are kind of neat. They attach to your to the nose ridge. I don't know what the name of it is. We'll call it the nose ridge. And then this whole section right in here is usually very light on your face, all the way down from the bridge of the nose, all the way down to the tip, the bridge, and up into the forehead. That's going to be a little bit lighter. And your eyes are going to be fairly dark. It's going to be dark in this section. And then it's also going to be dark over here. And then a little bit dark as the eye comes up into the cheek. And this particular face I drew is not a proportion face. I drew more of a whimsical face that is out of proportion with extremely large eyes. So now what I'll do after this step, because I have two colors here, I'll just take finger and I'll just kind of rub these together a little bit. You can see it starts to change colors a little bit there. And in my case, I want to kind of avoid those lines, the black lines, because again, I'm using a water-soluble sketching pencil there. Okay, and I'm not happy here. I need to fix this a little bit. Contour that nose. There we go. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to come in with, back with the salmon, I wanted to do the lips. Just very lightly. And now I have the salmon pink. Is that salmon pink? Yeah, salmon pink. And so the top lip is actually going to be darker than the bottom lip. The bottom lip has a highlight on it. So I'm going to color in the top lip, and then I'm just going to color in just underneath that line there, because the top lip will cast a shadow down onto the bottom lip, but most of the bottom lip sticks out and is highlighted. And then with this salmon rose, I'm just going to kind of go lightly in here with the cheeks. Just very lightly. Use my finger to blend that in. And maybe go over it just a little bit more. There we go. And then something I like to do, even when I do my own makeup, is I like to add a little bit of color to the nose and to the forehead, and it creates kind of a youthful experience, a youthful appearance. Okay, so just adding a little bit there. So now I'm going to come in with my, I wasn't done over here. So with my salmon pink, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading over here to the edges of the face, and don't worry about it. It seems kind of pink, but it's going to be okay. So I'm going to add a little bit over here to the nose. Just a little tiny bit. After that initial color, you don't want to lay down too much color. So now I've got the pink. This is the regular pink, so I'm going to come back in here with the lips, add some of that pink color, maybe a little tiny bit around the edges, and then I'm pretty much done there. And now I'm going to use my cinnamon, and you want to be very, very gentle with your darkest colors, because it's very easy to apply them and very difficult to take them off. So I'm just going to add a little bit here into this area, and I'm going to blend it out with my finger. And I might get a little bit in here. I don't know what those are called. Maybe add a little bit of color in the middle there. Okay. Maybe a little bit over here underneath the lips. And kind of curve that chin around. Oh yeah, I like that. A little bit more here. I'm barely touching the crayon to the paper. Okay. And because I've been working this with my finger the whole time, it's pretty well blended to begin with. So, coffee first, and then I'm going to take a brush. One of my favorite brushes, well, I have two favorite brushes, but let me go ahead and grab them. Okay, so this is an angular shader. This is a 1/2 inch. I do like this one. This book is a 9" by 12. Okay, so the whole spread is 12 inch. It's 9 inches down and 6 across, or 12 across the whole page. So this 1/2 inch is a nice size. And then I also like this one. This is a number 4 filbert. I don't know, I tend to love the filbert. I do wish I had a larger filbert. I'm not seeing one in my stash here. Okay, so I have some clean water on my filbert, and I'm just going to be very carefully, because again, I don't know how this is going to work because I've never used that watercolor sketching pencil, so we'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to my my lighter areas. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong. I just kind of do what works for me. And so I'm just using a little bit of water, and I have so much pigment there that's just moving all over the place. So I'm going to quickly move from one section to another, trying to avoid creating streaks with my paint, with the pigment. So we're going to move up into this, up into the brow ridge. Okay, so here we are in the fold of the eye. Okay, and coming down the side of the face. Want to keep that darker color along this side there. And coming down to this pointed chin. So let's get in there by the lip. And I want to preserve this rounded chin here. We'll come back to that. Okay, and I'm cleaning my brush often in order to make sure that I'm not moving too much paint from one area to another. And we'll take care of that nose in just a second. I just got a little bit of paint into the eye area. That will be alright. I can either gesso it or just kind of go back in with a clean brush and move that paint out of that section. Okay, so I've got a clean brush here. I'm just gonna get this area right in here kind of wet. A little bit of pigment. I'm not looking for a super realistic portrait here because it is kind of whimsical. I was actually considering painting this shades of orange for fun, but I chickened out. Okay, so I do like this area. I kind of wish this side was a little bit more consistent, so that's just a brush, wet brush. Okay, good. See, that lightened it up considerably over there. Okay, now let's go ahead and tackle this nose. So I've just got a lot of water, probably too much water. So usually my downfall is too much water. Okay, so we're good there. Bring those strokes straight up, across the brow ridge, and off into the forehead, where eventually I will add some hair. Okay, let's take a look at her lips. I usually like to do the bottom lip first because without fail I end up putting too much pigment if I move down. Okay, so let's do that top one. This is a clean brush again. Each time I'm cleaning my brush, you just can't see it. It's off camera. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is work on her neck a little bit. And so her neck is going to be, I colored it in the flesh tone, but I want to add some shading to it. So it's going to be darker where the head sort of attaches or casts a shadow down on it, as well as toward the sides because it's like a cylinder. So this is, what is this, salmon? Salmon. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color there with the salmon. Add a little bit with the pink, not too much, and then I'm going to skip straight towards the cinnamon and add a little bit with the cinnamon. Okay, using my finger to blend those. Alright, and I'm going to add a little bit more flesh in here. Okay, and I'm going to switch to the angular shader. Or maybe not. Okay, I'm going to come straight down there and I'm going to come across. It looks like I'm going to have to add some darker color in there. Coming across and coming down. And then let's get that middle part. Yeah, I need to add some more darkness. Okay, and then off to her shoulders that we can't see. Alright. Let me go ahead and dry that real quick with the heat tool. It will be loud. Okay, so some cinnamon. I usually wait till that cools down a little bit, otherwise it just kind of melts that crayon a little too much. Oh yeah, perfect. You want to be careful because you don't want the neck to look dirty. That would be bad. It's like they haven't taken a bath in a week. I teach school. Sometimes kids show up like that. It's kind of gross. Okay. Alright, that is looking good. Looking good. Okay. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is her eyes. And so, and then usually at this stage what I'll do is take a picture with my camera or just kind of stand back. And part of the thing with the camera is when I'm looking at the picture, I'm able to notice areas where I feel like I need to go in and fix some areas. I'm looking at this on screen and the cheeks look a little lopsided to me, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. We can fix it in a little bit. So I want to do her eye color, and so what I'll usually do is take a color from the background or pick something that is complementary. And what I'm thinking here might be kind of fun is I think it might be kind of cool to do like a lavender eye color. So let me just go ahead and pick out some colors here. I usually try to pick two colors that, 2 or 3 colors that are close to each other so I can add some shading. So those might actually be too close, but let's test them out. And then on my desk, I just have craft paper, and then every couple of weeks I just gesso over it, and so it's got like all these layers of gesso, but it allows me to create on a new surface. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's go back to those colors one more time. Okay, so we're going to use them in this order. So this is going to be my lightest. And I tend to color lightest to dark, and that is mostly because that's how I use my Copic markers. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to get on the outsides with this darker. This is, let's see, manganese violet, and then this one in my hand is mauve, or mauve. Doesn't really seem very mauve. Seems more lavender. I always think of mauve as more pink. And then this one is periwinkle blue. We'll just get their very, very edges. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I was looking to see if I had a smaller brush handy. I do. I have a little tiny filbert. This is a number 2. Okay. So I just want a little bit of water here, not too much. Okay. So as a result, I'm hardly using any. There we go, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of water. Probably going to have to go in. There we go. It's kind of pretty. Who would have ever thought lavender eyeballs? Okay, I like that. It's interesting. Okay. And then the last part that I'm going to do for tonight is do the center part of her eye, and so the pupil. And what I like to do, I don't like to go in with black. I like to go in a couple steps before black. So let's see. I'm grabbing some of the crayons here. Okay, I don't want to use black. So I'm going to use charcoal gray and what color is this? This one. Charcoal gray and sepia, or sepia, which I tend to think of as more brownish, but here with the Neocolor it's pretty gray. So I like to reserve black for not a whole lot actually, eyelashes. So I'm just going to come in here with the, this is the sepia. And this is the Filbert number 2. I don't like that brush. Okay, let's see. Let me find a round brush. Oh, I think that one's too small. I'm having no luck with, there we go, there's my favorite brush. See, it's all beat up and everything. Okay, now I have the black, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take the color directly off of this brush, and I like to do it in a rolling motion so that I make sure the paint is saturated around the whole thing. So this is charcoal gray in my hand. Again, I'm not using black. And then I can go ahead and paint that in. And over here as well. Okay, so that's about it. The only other thing I need to do is, it looks like I did not blend in this area. The nose. Okay, so that's about it for today. That is how I paint a face. So if you have any questions, let's start over there. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the box below. And don't forget, I still have a a giveaway going, so be sure to comment on the giveaway video, which also includes some of my storage that I use for many of my supplies. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and can't wait to see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.